All right, we looking good. Excellent. We sounding good. Excellent. Okay, cool. We should be up right now. OCO, everyone. How y'all doing, man?
OCO, freethinkers. You're now tuned into the realest historian on the planet.
Hope everybody doing well. Yeah, so let me make sure everything's straight. Hold up. Okay. Look like everything clear, so let me go ahead and make it happen. So y'all thought I was about to be late, huh? Nah. Let's get it.
OCO, freethinkers.
I broke down how they took our lands, when they took our lands. I even gave you verbatim government documents, time periods, and all. There's no excuse. And all those people that's yelling and screaming, talking about Africa this, Africa that, go there. We not stopping you. Go to Africa. Go live there. See if you can blend in. Ain't gonna be nobody standing there, welcome my brother, or you are American. There's no problem. Everything you need is here. Everything you need. Follow me. Ain't gonna be nothing like that, Slim. You gotta get in where you fit in, just like everybody else out there. You think it's gonna be a way better living in Africa? They fooled the people like that went on ahead and agreed with the American Colonization Society. They made pretend like it was gonna be a better way of living in West Africa because certain parts were not fully populated, but they were fully colonized. Oh, you gonna leave one colonized land to another one and think that's gonna be a better way of living? That's why it was less than 15,000 of them that went. Everybody else was like, kick rocks. What Negro problem?
OCO, freethinkers. You're now tuned into the realest historian on the planet.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Relax and take notes.
He's here to make you think.
The Africans came way later, 1900s later. I put that on screen. We were not brought over here by way of slave ships. I put that on screen. I showed you that there was no such thing as a slave ship. I put that on screen. Number one, they couldn't come straight across the Atlantic with the ocean gyres there. They would be lost at sea. Number two, you're not about to fit 100, 200, nobody on a sailboat. They can't carry that much weight on a sailboat. Don't forget that they're calling them ships, but they were boats. Wherries, rowboats, those are small. The cargo ships came in the 1850s, and the first 3 cargo ships were owned by 3 different people, and those cargo ships were not being utilized commercially. The commercial use of the cargo ships came in the late 1850s. By that time, you had what, 10, 15 years more until slavery was allegedly abolished?
You are watching a master at work.
Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook.
We have been lied to about who we are. We're not African. None of us are. They got statue after statue up of Confederate soldiers, this, Union Army, that, this museum is this. You do not have the names of your heroes that enabled slavery the way that we were told. You're not telling us the names of the people that made it seem as if you won some type of war by capturing enslaved Africans and bringing them over here. And don't get it twisted, people came, but it wasn't you. Well, me and my wife tell you in these Statue of Liberty videos, but foreigners coming. But foreigners coming.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
No.
Once people get cognizant of what's going on, then yeah, we can make some changes because their stay is a temporary stay. The reason why is because if you look at the term resident, that means that's a person in transient status. That means that person has somewhere else to go.
Yeah.
That's not their original land. So this is what you're calling yourself when you're saying that you're a citizen. You're saying the same thing. A citizen is a resident. Resident is a person in transient status. That means you're there temporarily. That doesn't mean that you're there permanently. People are not tied to their states. They're tied to estate. Which one is that? It's 13 districts. So who was the head of the 13 districts? The corporation. So where was the corporation established? Washington, D.C. But wait, Washington, D.C. is not a state, right? So anybody that's a citizen, that means that you're stateless. If you're stateless, that means you're not tied to any state. That means you're not tied to their constitution. The reason why is because you're tied to the city of Washington as a citizen. So you're here temporarily by their paperwork. They're literally trying to take you off of your land. That's the enemy. That's how you point them out.
This man is unstoppable.
This is the second time it was changed. I'm going to show you all something. These are the manuscripts of the Virginia Company of London. Look closely at the quote here. It says 20 and odd Negroes, okay? The West Indies. This is talking about the West Indies, where they got it from. That's where they were going back and forth.
I will not be debating Dane Calloway.
Yeah, that boy's scared. That boy's scared.
The best teacher you wished you had in school. Have your pens and paper handy and get ready to take notes. Take notes. It's Dane Calloway.
Yes, sir. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all coming out tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get myself hyped real quick. It's late night. It's one of them late night streams. We're gonna have fun regardless. There's a few things I wanna talk about. Couple things got said to me. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go over that. Absolutely. Southeast DC in the building. Anacostia in the building. What up? Minnesota Ave. You know, I'm from that area. That's me all day. Hey. Yeah. Mohawk. OCO Mohawk, how you? Look. Let me put that joint on auto. Okay. I can't wait to put this out. Yes, sir. All right. Yeah. No, I'm from the Ave. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the Ave. I mean, but shout out to MLK. You know, they down there. Shout out to the Farmsbury Farms. You know, they down there. One way. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the other side of Minnesota. Shout out to the whole Southeast. How about that? You know what I'm saying? All right, let me stop right there, man. It's up. Let me do this before we get started, because I did see a couple people do that. Shout out to the official Blue Dreamer, been a member for 29 months in a row. Fire. She said, thank you for all you do, Big Chief. Set it on fire. I appreciate that, Blue. Also, shout out to the Real Kato. Thank you for becoming a member. Official Chief. Shout out to my brother Levante right here. He said, thanks to all you do, Chief. I'm glad to call you brother. I appreciate that. And no weapon that is formed against us will ever prosper. It won't work. We are Aboriginal. Absolutely. Been a member for 37 months in a row. Absolutely. We ain't stopping, man. Shout out to Mohawk. What up, sister? Been a member for 41 months in a row. She said OCO.
Free thinkers.
Shout out to those of you that's checking this out super late. I know I'm usually a little earlier than this, but I'm late tonight. You know, so what we're gonna do is jump straight into it. There's a few things that were sent. And I'm glad this is happening. I've been saying that it was gonna happen. It was just a matter of time. But it's more and more and more of our people speaking up now. And it's to their point, I'm not trying to say that I agree with everything that I'm going to be playing tonight, right? Because I'm not exactly sure what all of them are saying. I'm going to be honest, because I haven't watched all of them all the way through. I did take a peek at some of them. But, you know, regardless, I'm pretty sure, you know, people going to have their take, and I'm not going to try to take that away from them as long as it's not misinformation, you know, because if I see fraud, I'm going to call it out. But I mean, I really do appreciate this because a lot of people giving me my props, a lot of people giving me my flowers. Like, I put in a lot. I mean, I put in so much work into this thing, man. I put tons of work before even, you know, before people start coming on board trying, you know, assist in certain areas. I was still, you know, by myself doing it, and late nights, early mornings, you know, not getting sleep. So I'm just thankful this is finally paying off. It's been 10 years, and you're going to hear it from these people. I mean, I did this before, but just know that there's way more people than just the people I played during the last live stream and the people I'm getting ready to play during this live stream. There's going to be some topics in between that we're going to have to cover, though, because some questions were brought up, because the people that are afraid of us recognizing or claiming our indigenous roots are foreigners, believe it or not. And you like, what? Why would foreigners be upset? But you got to understand something here. That's a threat. That's a direct threat, because at that point, they're afraid that we will start playing our position. We will start sitting down in the gold chairs that we created for our kings and our queens. They're afraid that we're going to sit on the throne, y'all. That's what's going on. They're afraid that we're going to kick them out. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, me personally, a lot of them don't need to be here. They don't deserve to be here. They don't. We know the difference. You know, those that we probably be like, all right, nah, they cool, are going to be the ones that have continuously supported us, continuously respected us, ain't never turned their nose or their back against us. Those are the people. Like, and it's only going to be a certain few. Like, we not keeping everybody. It's either y'all going to kill off yourselves or y'all going to get the hell up out of here. Look, it's right around the corner. This is how, I'm not going to lie. I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know it was going to happen this fast, right? But to me, this ain't happening fast enough. Hurry up. Hurry up. But, you know, I'm glad that it's happening. I'm not trying to override what's going on. I see, you know, the wheels are moving. Now, the wheels are turning. And we ain't letting no stranger take the wheel. We driving now. We ain't having it now. Them people, I'm telling y'all, these people afraid. Watch, I'm about to start playing these videos. Shout out to Dan, been a member for 29 months in a row. He said, what up, big dog? Let's go. Carolina Ryder, been a member for 69 months in a row. Good grief, that's a lot. I appreciate that. Carolina said, wait a minute, it's not popping up. Oh, it said Wado. I appreciate that. Solar, been a member for 7 months in a row. You said, OCO, shout out to you, gang. Appreciate you ushering along a huge change. I appreciate that. Yep. It was a lot of them that doubted me. You know, but that's what put that fire. it lit that fire in me. I said, I got something. And I kept going. I knew it. I already knew. I was already told. That's the reason why I'm doing it. Free the Real, thank you for becoming a member. And yeah, Free the Real. David Webb, thank you for the super chat. Revolutionary regards, Dane. I appreciate that, David. Two, thank you for the super chat. You said shout out to you, bro. I need that reverse video. Reverse is on the website. Reverse is on the website. When you go to the website, you purchasing digital downloads. So make sure whatever you download the movie on, you got enough space. Just be mindful of that. Like if you got it on your cell phone and you holding all them naked pictures for the women, you know what I'm saying? You may have to start deleting some of them pictures because you gonna need some room for the videos, okay? The video's usually between 45 to 2 hours long, depending on which one you get. But you know, some of y'all ladies gonna have to start deleting them naked pictures. Hey, y'all gotta make room for some information. You know what I'm saying? You can get back to playing with the niggas' minds later. Men, you can get back to playing with the ladies' minds later. Y'all Y'all got that all weekend. You try to get some education in, don't, Well, I can't download it. Yeah, you got them naked pictures in that phone. That ain't my fault. And then you got the nerve to have an iPhone. You know, I'm gonna leave y'all alone. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. I ain't gonna say nothing. Romac, thank you for becoming a member. Crystal, thank you for the super chat. Hey, if y'all super chat, don't forget to add like a message. Please add a message in there. You know, even if it's something, even if it's a shout out, anything, leave a message in there for me, please. Official Lovely Life TV, thank you for becoming a member. Orlando, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. You said, get down or lay down. It's go time, absolutely.
It's go time, Slim.
It's go time, Slim. The Real Kato, thank you for the super chat. He said, Dane, thank you for answering your call. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, you know what? I thank the creator for that. I thank the creator for changing my life. And my life is still changing. My life is changing for the better as we speak right now. Like things that I never thought was going to happen. And everything happened for a reason. And I can't wait to share this great news with y'all. It's so much great news happening for me. And I'm very thankful. Like, I mean, so much clarity, so much like a breath of fresh air. So much burdens have been lifted. Devils have been brushed away from me, and insert all these blessings, insert all these positive affirmations. I'm so glad that I got through, you know what I'm saying, that Leo season. You know what I mean? Some of y'all astrologers out there know what I'm talking about. And I made sure that I sent it up. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we ain't gonna carry this for the rest of the year. We gonna make sure that everything gonna be good. And it's gonna be up, like to the point where it's stuck. But that's the creator doing that, man. That's, you know, my ancestors looking out, but the creator, that's, man, I'm telling you, young, I swear, y'all, woo, I can't wait. But I'm excited. I'm excited. There's some things in the works. We are working, man. Two, again, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. You said you got an error creating your account? Oh, man. I mean, it shouldn't be an error. Like, all you doing is it get immediately sent to you. If you go on a website, it gets sent to the email that you gave us. Now, two, if you talking about that you gave us the wrong email, then email my team with your order number so they could go in there and fix the email and they'll resend it to the right email. But other than that, it's on you when you if you created the account, you giving us the phone number and the email, you know what I mean? So, but if you believe that you put in the wrong email, just send us an email, let us know, and then with the order number, and they'll fix that up and send it back. Don't even worry about that. Like once you don't gotta repurchase it or nothing like that. If that's what you're thinking, like you ain't gotta do all that. They'll just be, resending it. But so that person to go to the junk mail, yeah, it could have went in your junk mail too, especially if this your first time purchasing. That is true. If this your first time purchasing from my website, it's gonna go to the junk mail for sure. because it's being automatically sent to you. As soon as it's automatic. So definitely check your spam folder or your junk mail. It could have landed in there. But if you believe you did give us the wrong email, then yeah, just send us the order number. We'll fix it up. Born in Ayers, thank you for being a member for 28 months in a row. You said tapping in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Stand up. What up, Connecticut? King Pirelli, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Via Boo, thank you for thank you for being a member for 20 months in a row. Hold on, let me get my water. I got a lot of water. Nah, it's all good. If you can't be here for the full 3 hours, I got you. I'm gonna clip this up. I see what you're saying. I ain't gonna beat you up if you can't be here for the full 3 hours. I'm late. I'm live streaming late, so don't even worry about it. I'm gonna make sure that I'm clipping everything up, and it's gonna be put back up as individual videos. So whatever part of the live stream you wanted to check out, you be able to do it directly, and it won't just be the whole 3 hour. You know what I mean? It's gonna be convenient. I'm gonna do that every time I go live. So every time I go live, I'm gonna chop that up for the people that can't, be there for the whole 3 hours, but they still wanted to see something that I touched on. It's gonna pop back up. So parts of this live stream coming tomorrow, or later on today, rather. Later on today. Prayers, the investor. Thank you for being a member for 5 months in a row. I appreciate that, Prayers. I appreciate that. Wait, that notification came through and then it dropped off. Hold on, let me go on this side real quick. I think that said, yeah, it did. Yeah, Copper Engine. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thought I hit the wrong button. Dane, I sent you a friend request on Discord. Can you accept it? Like we have shared ancestors. Absolutely. I'll be able to do that. I ain't gonna lie. I probably got like 300 friend requests in there. Let me tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't been in there for a little second. And when I do, I go in there and I'm out. But I am going to come up and you going to see. I'm about to come back up in there and accept friend requests. But I am DMing people in there too. So you can DM me regardless. The Real Birdman Jr., what's going on, brother? Been a member for 25 months. You said you watched Mother Rosa and told him reverse. Hey, man, I appreciate that.
Fire.
Matter of fact, let me big one. Both of them Jones like that. Both of them real good. Those are very good. Those are very good. In my opinion, those are very good. Ain't T, it's me. Thank you for becoming a member. All right, here we go, y'all. So let's start off with the. Hold on. What should I start off with? I want to start off with. Let me see. Hold on. Let me move this over. Hey, y'all like that thumbnail though? Hold on, before I move this thumbnail, y'all like that thumbnail? What y'all think about that thumbnail? I thought that joint was fire. But, you see her headdress? I think that thing fire. Oh, look, matter of fact. Oh, hey, hold on. Let me touch on this real quick, y'all. So, Cube got a new movie out, right? And everybody and their brother was blowing me up saying that Cube, look, y'all, look at this. They saying that Cube looked like my older brother right here. Now, let's solve this right now, right? Does Cube look like my older brother right here? Now, don't get me wrong. He got on my glasses. I don't know how he figured out what glasses I wear. That is the brand of my glasses. I don't know how he did that. Right? So, okay, minus the glasses, right? Huh? Nah, no, listen. Y'all not supposed to be laughing. This ain't no joking matter. I asked y'all a question. See how y'all doing me? Chat, y'all playing games. I said, huh? Okay, all right, so look, all right. So if y'all saying that he look like my older brother, right? So would y'all be mad if I cut my hair? You said that's my uncle? Would y'all be mad if I cut my hair? Huh? I mean, don't forget that I had short hair. You know what I'm saying? I had short hair. Now my hair is long. You know what I'm saying? So what y'all think? Leave the hair? Don't cut it? Okay. Keep the hair? All right, I'll keep the hair. You know why I would want to keep my hair? Even though I know this is for a movie, but peep how they try to make him look super old right here, and Cube probably like 50. Like, I think Cube probably like 55, maybe 54. No, I could be wrong, right? Wait, how old is Cube, y'all? Cube got to be 55. He 57? 56? Wait, 55? Hold on, which one is it? Okay, all right, so between 54 and 57, right? Nah, he ain't 30. His son probably 30. 56-ish, yeah, he up there. He about to be an old man. He about to start looking like this for real. Right. All right. So everybody, no, that was the whole joke. Everybody was saying, hey, man, Dane, man, Cube, and then looking like you when you get older. He looked like your older brother. But I thought that was hilarious. When I got sent this picture, I started laughing like, no, he didn't put my glasses on, bruh. I'm talking about the exact brand. Look at my glasses in that picture and look at his glasses. It's the exact. I'm not trying to give out the brand because I don't want nobody to be copying, man. Nah, people were saying this movie was good. I haven't seen the movie yet. So don't tell me. Hold up. Don't tell me because I haven't seen it yet. I got to see the joint. Yeah, you thought that when you saw the trailer? That's messed up. That's messed up. I'ma send Cube a text message like, that's how you feel? You just gonna take my glasses? That's how you feel, bruh? I'm talking about, man, what? All right, come on. Nah, that's the movie was trash. No, ain't no way. People keep saying it was bad. Wow, let me see it. Let me see. Don't tell me what it's about. Let me see. Is people saying it wasn't trash? Is people saying it was? Is he actually playing you, Dane? I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I hope not, because I'm not an old man. It's like, I don't know what you mean. My birthday is September. My birthday next month. I'm not turning 50 nothing. I'm not turning 60 nothing. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I hope that the creator allowed me to see that day, you know what I mean? But I ain't nowhere near that. You know, like, I'm nowhere near right there. You know, I still got an opportunity to remarry and have more children if I wanted to right now. Dane is just another fam. No, hold on, but no. Y'all so funny. You ain't say 40 nothing. Look, because I'm about to turn. Shut up, Dre. Matter of fact, Dre, whatever, Dre. Why you come over here saying that? Knowing you damn near my age anyway, Dre. Huh? I'm saying? I'm nowhere near 50. You know what I'm saying? I'm nowhere near 50, but I definitely didn't say 40 because I'm about to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? I'm opening up that door, walking in. You know, I got a little bit of gray hair. But I ain't got this much. But okay, let's get off of this. Y'all clowning me now. All right, I'm about to. He trying to take me down. Right, and you come right along with me, Dre. Right along with me. We both old men now, huh? We both old men. All right, okay. So the first thing I'm gonna play this first one, where it was let me see, the people were sending me. And by the way, you guys that wanna, whatever video you want me to view, definitely put it aside of the 13% community server. The 13% community server is free. I'm not going to ask you to pay for that or nothing. That's not what this is about. This is strictly for community-based purposes only. So send it in there to me. And then, of course, we up in there doing other things that I'm not going to be stating online. But it's for our benefit. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm going to play this first one first. And it says, okay, this video is saying they silenced the truth tellers. All right, let me see what this is about.
We don't have nobody.
My point. If Martin Luther King was alive today, with all the access that we got to social media and all this, his voice was loud without it. His voice would be tremendous right now.
Unfortunately, they don't let you speak like that now, J-Man.
What you mean?
You can't speak. They don't let you speak truths like that.
I'm not gonna
That's
say
why
that.
you don't know.
Hey, y'all know this to be true because every time. Wait, he just said my name? Hold up. Let me go back.
Right now.
Unfortunately, they don't let you speak like that now, J-Man.
What you mean?
You can't speak. They don't let you speak truths like that.
I'm not gonna
That's
say
why
that.
you don't know who a Dane Calloway is.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
say
no,
that.
they do hide it. I understand they hide it.
Brother, I appreciate that, brother, but that's true. Unfortunately, that is true. You know what I mean? And that's why I gotta dumb shit down because YouTube they be on me, man. They be on me real heavy. I appreciate that, brother. I don't know who this brother is, but shout out to this brother. Shout out to All Facts, Av and Bird. Hold on, with Av and Bird. Shout out to both of y'all brothers. Shout out to all three of y'all brothers. I appreciate that.
Unfortunately, the
But
ones
there's
that
no-
want to be on the pavement, they don't want to speak up like that because guess what they gonna do to you? You already
Right.
know what's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
They be
but
scared.
if
See?
They're gonna silence
But if you
Thank you.
speaking for the
What's the-
race of a person, the people.
Rashad Jamal Rashad Jamal. Do you know who that is? He's another social
YouTuber?
media
YouTube guy?
influencer. They locked him up. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna find a way to get rid of you. This is why you don't hear about these people. It's a lot of people out there speaking up for our people, but
Yeah, but Martin Luther King wasn't just speaking up. He was just talking. Like
Right. He was showing action.
Organizing, doing a damn.
Now, Martin Luther King was doing his thing, but Martin Luther King y'all know I went over there. I'm gonna leave that alone. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm not trying to go there, but we can't take it from him like he didn't try to do the right thing before they took him out. They took him out because he ended up doing the right thing. Okay, for that reason, and yeah, I appreciate that, y'all, and I'm glad y'all see what's going on. I'm glad that y'all see what's going on because sometimes I just be like, y'all know that's not me. Y'all know it's not. Especially when I be getting deep in conversation or deep in topic that's deep. Like I want to go there. I swear to God I do. Every time I do, they shake the stream up or shut it off or take me offline. It never fails. I appreciate that. What's the other one that you said? Let me see. You said, okay. Wait, black people are the motherboard?
Racist.
All right,
Let's
here we
talk
go.
about the truth. There is so much discourse lately about who is native and who is indigenous, and even the nerve to bring up who is the architect of soul food. And what everyone needs to understand is that black people are the earth. Black people are the only unmutated humanity. They told you humans came from Africa like it was a migration story, but that's not the truth.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. I don't think they was ready. Let me back up real quick.
Racist. Let's talk about the truth. There is so much discourse lately about who is native and who is indigenous, and even the nerve to bring up who is the architect of soul food. And what everyone needs to understand is that black people are the earth. Black people are the only unmutated humanity. They told you humans came from Africa like it was a migration story. But that's not the truth. The truth is, Africa is the first face of the earth. And blackness is the source of all biology. Everyone else? Genetic drift, mutational echo, survival glitches adapted to ice and exile. Let's talk origins. The black woman is the womb of the world. Forget the Eve in the garden story. That was a stolen metaphor. The real Eve lives in the woman's mitochondria. And not just any women. Melanin-rich, thick-hipped, thick-lipped, and copper-toned.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Hold on. Even though I don't like the term black, but matter of fact, a lot of us don't. We know why. Well, hold up, bruh. When you got the audacity to talk like this, that's what I'm talking about. Like when you're not afraid, you don't care. Like I'm talking about freely. You let it fly. That's what I'm talking about, bro.
Poised, literally perfect, planet-rooted black women. White women don't carry the full ancestral genome. Asian, Mexican, and Native women only carry fragments. Black women carry the total code. She doesn't reproduce diversity. She births the whole species. When small African offshoot groups migrated north, they weren't evolving. They were mutating, adapting to survival, not thriving. That's where lighter skin, narrow nostrils, reduced melanin, and behavioral changes began. All signs of environmental stress, not superiority. You don't get white by evolving. You get white by forgetting the sun. And that forgetting is not advancement, it's progression. The white genome contains 1 to 4% Neanderthal DNA. Let me repeat, they didn't just descend from humans. They were cavemen.
Stop. Woo!
It's up.
Hold on. Let me, okay, I'm gonna back up a tad bit.
Behavioral changes began. All signs of environmental stress, not superiority. You don't get white by evolving. You get white by forgetting the sun. And that forgetting is not advancement, it's progression. The white genome contains 1 to 4% Neanderthal DNA. Let me repeat, they didn't just descend from humans. They were cavemen. Black people have 0 Neanderthal admixture. That's not a joke. That's biology. Black people are the originals. Non-black people are the remix. The problem is, the remix decided to express its evil nature by attempting to erase the original track. Let's talk indigenous. The term indigenous was invented by settlers to decide who was native enough to be managed, named, and displaced. But indigenous is a political term, not a genetic one. And political terms can't overwrite blood memory. Being first on the continent...
He's referring to political correctness. Political correctness. Y'all know look, like, okay, we can't argue there. Just like the term black, just like the term African American. Just like the term Negro, just like the term colored, just like the term mulatto, the term Creole.
Does not make you first on the planet. However, black people being first on the planet means they are first on every continent. The black genome is Earth's source code. Everyone else is just running a copy of their biological operating system. The war against black genetics is a war against humanity. Melanin isn't pigment, it's the processor. It's the molecule that translates solar energy into life. Plants have it, animals have it, humans need it. Black people have the highest concentration of it, which means black people don't just live on Earth, they translate it. They are not just a race, they are the root species. Black isn't a color, it's the motherboard. Every other group, adaptations, mutations, and mistakes. This isn't supremacy. This is truth. Black people didn't come from Africa. Africa came from black people.
We're the creators. We the chosen. I mean, with a few little tweaks, like minus the black this, blackity black that, he's absolutely correct. He's absolutely correct. And of course, you know, myself and other brothers and sisters out there have been covering that, you know, in many different ways, going over everything that he just mentioned. Of course, where they came from. Keep in mind, their whole thing was called pseudoscience for a reason. When it came to genetics, they were trying to go as far as comparing themselves with animals. Okay? Because they were trying to figure out where they came from. They just didn't understand their makeup. So they started comparing themselves to monkeys. Like when they try to call us monkeys, we got 4 lips. Monkeys don't. And guess who else don't? Okay? Let's be real here, okay? So the natural selection, that type of science, is rooted, it's embedded in there. There's a lot of racial discrimination that was going on, especially when it comes to science, when it's rooted in racial discrimination. Like, it's straight up rooted in there. You can't separate the two because they were combined. Well, not astrology. What's the word? Not ethnographic. What is the word? Anthropology. There we go. Anthropology, natural selection, and eugenics. Y'all know this already. All of them combined was doing the exact same thing. And what they were really doing was trying to find themselves, not us. They were trying to see what their genetic makeup was. Where did they come from? Okay. And eventually they realized that some of them came from, they're going to say the Caucasus Mountains and caves. They are going to say that. But not all of them. You know, some of them did come from what we would call albino mixtures of, you know, depending on where our women were located, whether they were a little too far away from the sun or closer to it. A lot of them came out albino and they reproduced. And you're seeing the third generations of the European, the money-making slave. You're seeing that now. And while we on that topic, I'm glad. Matter of fact, so before I go any further on that, let's stick to like these Caucasians talking. Okay, let's stick to that. You're gonna see what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna just let it play. Watch.
White people ain't shit. Just kind of felt like saying that. I mean, what do you really say after that? There's nothing to follow up. White people ain't shit.
So this is a white guy saying that white people ain't shit. Now he about to break down why.
About it. Like, what group of people is more racist than us, more hateful than us? What group of people do you know that started over 100 plus race massacres and have stripped everything from other groups of people of color, black people, however you want to categorize, and never pay it back? Ever. I mean, take everything they own, properties, businesses, family. Use their like, lynch them and do unspeakable acts to them. Use their skin for shoes and wallets and belts.
And medicine. And medicine.
Use their teeth to replace ours. Use their hair to stuff chairs and shit. Or take pictures of these lynchings and put them on postcards and send them across states or the U.S. to your family and friends as a way to joke and shit. Like, I just made me sick, dude.
Actually, what he just said right there, I'm going to play. I should come back to this because what he just said right there is actually still happening. When they passing around, I'm going to come back to that part. I'm going to remind myself. I'm going to come right back to that.
I do. I really hate us. I mean, just strip everything and not pay it back. And be so hateful and so spiteful to the point that we put literature in contracts, especially with these insurance companies, that will prevent us from having to pay these people back as long as we call them riots, not massacres. Like, there's nobody more hateful than us. Take. A little bit of violence, a lot of bit of violence sprinkled in. Take some more. Whether it's people's fucking property or people's inventions. White people love taking credit for shit they never invented, but a brother or sister did. And we pay nothing back. Or you one of the cool ones, so to speak. And you take from the culture, and you don't contribute nothing back. You're no different. You're no fucking different. Or the ones that get mad when people call white people out as a whole, like you get triggered or something. and you feel like you got to defend the white race, put your white knight suit on and shit. Like, maybe you should take inventory on what it is that makes you feel like you got to take up for white folk when people speak on us as a whole. What have you done? What have you said? Why do you feel guilty? Why do you feel like you're targeted in this? Why is it someone like me can sit here and join in on conversations against white people and not feel offended one fucking bit, but people like you do feel offended? I don't know. Maybe because you done did some shit and I ain't. I'm just saying.
Uh-oh.
We just ain't shit. I don't know how else to say it. And then the way we excuse racism, oh, it's just one bad day. That's a long time ago. Bitch, so? So? The fuck does that have to do with anything? Never atoned for it. Been ducking and dodging accountability since that incident. Pretty sure that wasn't the first time he said it. Ain't some shit you just pop off at the top of the mouth randomly. No, that's who you are. It's ingrained in your DNA. It's what the shit you partake in behind closed doors. Motherfucker, I'm from the Bible Belt in a conservative household down here in the South. I know what dog whistles are. I know the conversations that take place behind closed doors, fam.
Right.
Had a racist ass stepdaddy. Confederate shit and all. I know, bro. I see that shit. I cannot stand my people. I hate how fake we could be, too. We love to say we ain't racist because our friends black, one of the good ones that we like to call them, one of the ones that fall in line with how we think and how we feel and vote how we vote. But I'll be damned if you decide to change your way of thinking. See exactly where that gets you. You won't really see how we feel about you then. I hate our people. I really do. There's nobody like us. And nobody plays the victim card quite like white people. And you think that you can just wake up one day and decide to change your beliefs and be like, I don't fuck with these racist crackers no more. I'm with y'all now. Hell no. Just like I told Trump people not too long ago, stay where the fuck you at. Stay over there. Keep your white hood energy over there. Just because you done dyed your shit red doesn't make you any less of a white hood than it was before, bro. I just don't like my people. Hey, so breaking news. White people ain't shit.
He must be from Tennessee or something. But shout out, man. Shout out to the brother, man. He spoke it. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Those are the type people that's gonna stay. That's not gonna be able to, look, that don't care, that know what truth is. That's going to tell the truth no matter what, no matter whose feelings are hurt. They will be the one. Yeah, he definitely sound like Tennessee. It sound like Tennessee. I could be wrong. Oh, he got to be from Bama? Oh, because he mentioned the Bible Belt. Oh, okay, that could be true. That could be true. He did. I'm just saying. Not everybody gonna be, look, all we gotta do is sit on the throne. What you waiting for? So, I mean, to go piggyback off of what this brother was just saying, he's right though, because these are, okay, as far as them doing the KKK rallies and stuff like that he mentioned, that is still happening to this day, y'all. Believe it or not. Look at this.
This is the type of time that it's on. This is what they're fucking doing. This is why you dumb don't need to be falling for the bullshit that is on the internet. This is the type of time they're on right now. This is what we doing. We're bringing the KKK back. Bet. We got something for that ass. Try it if you fucking want. You pussies got ran up off the bridge. I'm burning all this shit. They're leaving QR codes to put in applications for the KKK.
All right, so basically what they're doing, they're recruiting people in Cincinnati. It says the Cincinnati police chief, Cincinnati mayor, city manager, and all 9 of the city council members will not help you against vicious attacks from those of color. Protect yourselves against these lawless thugs. Don't fall victim to senseless crimes, y'all. And they got their number and everything in there, address and everything, bold. Well, it's a P.O. box with a QR code. Trying to get more people to arm themselves. Notice it say at the top, arm yourselves, white citizens of Cincinnati. This is still going on, y'all.
Because some drunk white mom in a black neighborhood, you're not scaring shit off. You'll die. Try it if you want. Y'all didn't learn y'all lessons down. Y'all didn't learn y'all lessons down. Y'all didn't learn y'all lessons downtown. Try it. You saw what happens when you don't keep your hands to yourself. You saw what happens when you don't keep your hands to yourself. You got your fucking ass beat. You weak motherfuckers. Try it if you fucking want. Try it if you want. Know that.
Know that.
Know that.
Know that.
Know that.
All right, see, that's what I'm talking about. When the brothers, and he got his sister right there beside him too. When the brothers not afraid, they gonna man up. They gonna stand up. And they gonna do more than talking. I'm trying, these little days that they think they could, hide behind the mask, that shit is over with. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That is over with.
This letter, just one of many seen on Kirkland Drive in College Hill Sunday morning. Video from a resident showed the pamphlets scattered throughout the road. Hours later, flyers can still be seen on the street, a curb, and even underneath a car.
We just felt like it was important to speak up and against it.
Rahman and Tiffany Shabazz reached out to us directly Sunday.
Not necessarily fear, but, feelings of frustration and feeling like this is our neighborhood. This is where we all come home to live our lives.
The couple told me a neighbor was the first person to alert them of KKK flyers on their street.
We picked them up and read them. We were just truly disappointed.
The flyer specifically mentions, quote, vicious attacks, seemingly referring to last weekend's violence in downtown Cincinnati, telling white people to, quote, arm yourselves. We learned later on Sunday afternoon that it may not just have been this area of College Hill that saw those flyers end up in their neighborhood. WCPO 9 was sent this image, including a second flyer that was found in Madisonville, which is miles away from College Hill. The Shabazz left me with this message.
Why they
up in their neighborhood.
Why they blur it out?
9
what was being said on that second flyer? I mean, you giving us the news, but you blurring out what is being said on that second flyer. I don't like that.
Was sent this image, including a second flyer that was found in Madisonville, which is miles away from College Hill. The Shabazz has left me with this message to the people who brought the flyers.
And we just want, those individuals to know that that's not acceptable in this neighborhood or anyone else in the city.
And to the entire Cincinnati area.
This has to stop. We've come too far to...
I mean, well, keep in mind, they got the government with them, right? And see, that's what people got to understand. Who they was shouting out on the flyer. That's the government. So that's basically where the KKK went. They started going into political positions of power, okay, in order to gain some type of power or leeway with regulation and with particular counties or whatever state they're located in. But this has been ongoing. That never stopped. This has been going on for years. Keep in mind, we are in 2025 right now, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm playing a report from 2 days ago.
With that in our communities.
The flyers appear to be left by the same group that scattered these flyers in January in northern Kentucky involving deportation. WCPO 9 received a statement from the Cincinnati Police Department saying in part, quote, our intelligence unit is actively investigating this matter and, quote, we are committed to maintaining a safe and inclusive environment for all residents.
That's cap. Your entire police department in the KKK. They mention your department. I wouldn't trust a goddamn soul inside of that department. But that don't mean the folks, shout out to Ohio, that don't mean y'all gotta run. And shout out to the brother that was standing up. Well, we gonna need more brothers like that to be standing up now. He can't be the only one. Y'all cannot be afraid of them. It's nothing to be afraid of. They breathe the same air as you. They bleed the same blood. Well, I'm not even gonna say they bleed the same blood because some of them could be an added mixture. We was just talking about the Neanderthals earlier, right? Or, I mean, they could be having a little snake tongue pop out their mouth at any given time, right? Right? Just got to be careful. And the eyes turn black like a narcissist do. When the narcissist be lying but try to, throw it back on you like you did something wrong. Whole time the narcissist is full of guilt and their eyes turn black. That's what be happening.
Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. Reporting in College Hill, Sam Harris-Samowitz, WCPO 9 News.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. Let's move on again. All right, so let's bring it to. All right, now I like this one. There was a guy, I believe his podcast. Hold on, I'm about to be able to see the name of his podcast. I'm gonna shout it out. He's asking the question: should Black Americans still claim Africans?
I have a question.
All right, now, Dr. Ken Harris, and it's on. I believe the podcast is called The Truth. And shout out to Dr. Ken Harris. If any of y'all know who this brother is, some type of way, make sure y'all, we connect so I can get on this podcast so we can have a great conversation about these type of topics. Look, y'all, I'm ready to start popping up on podcasts. Your boy been working out. I'm continuously working out, getting that body right. I'm trying to pop out and show niggas. Let me know what's going on. I'm just saying.
Should Black people claim Africans? And of course, I'm here for you to prove me wrong. My experience historically has been that Africans pretty much look down on Black Americans. People try to say it's those elite Africans. It's pretty much most of them. I wouldn't necessarily call it racism, but
it's their culture.
We disagree about a lot of things in terms of ethnicity, the Black diaspora, what it means to a person to be a continental African.
Oh yeah, give them if you can. Okay, I appreciate that, Josh. Let them know. Let them know for me. I would love to do that. I'll pop up.
Versus an African American. I see four ways that we are disconnected. One, cultural misunderstandings. Number one. Number two, the African community is a very insular community. You're either in or you're out or you're married to somebody that's African and you're in. Otherwise, it's pretty closed. Then there are just stereotypes and biases. Some of what I'm saying is stereotypical. Some of what I'm saying is biased. I freely admit that.
This is totally different cultures.
I believe the problem is that when Africans from the continent look at us, they disparage us. We're looked down upon.
We do.
And I don't understand why we even care. But at some point, we need to start to look at, are we going to be Black Americans or African Americans?
Neither one?
Is it time to move away from claiming Africa? I don't know if it's the thing that we need to continue to do.
No, we should. I agree. We should not continue. I 100% agree with this. We should discontinue associating ourselves with something that we are not. We are indigenous to this landmass, using that terminology in the sense of, or for the sake of the definition. We are primordial to this landmass. This is our motherland. Right here. We didn't have the same culture as they do. We could go down the list. Yes, we may share similarities in certain points, but that does not mean that we are the same people. We are not the same people. We're not. Okay? Keep in mind, the out of Africa theory is just that. It's a theory that has never been proven, and it's 2025. 2025. That still has not been proven. For a fact. But that's why more, and I'm gonna play, I got more videos because more and more, and I'm so glad, thank the creator, thank our ancestors, thank our own people for finally stepping up and claiming who they are now. Because they know it to be true. Because that was passed down by your elders, of your family members. In certain cases, it was ignored. Okay, I'm not saying for all of you guys, but in some cases, that part was ignored. But we can all recall making fun of each other by saying, aha, that's why you're an African booty scratcher. I never understood what that was, but I knew it was derogatory. If you get called an African booty scratcher, like I never understood that. Like, wait a minute, why? Like, why are we saying that? But it was always derogatory, right? We never really looked up to them. when we were, well, I mean, at least when I was in school, we weren't looking up to Africans. Now, when they started doing the blackity black black, that was back in the 60s, 1962 to be exact is when it first started. And then 1964 is when it started taking off as far as the so-called Black Power movement. We made a mistake. We started latching onto a culture that wasn't even ours, but that was purposely done. So we won't pay attention to what happened over here. Once you become aware of what happened to your own individual family, the picture is going to be painted for you perfectly clear as to what took place. Yes, everything was stolen by way of manipulation inside of the schools because we all have been indoctrinated with the exact same lies this entire time. We just never critically thought about it because that's not what the institutions are there for. They're trying to institutionalize their curriculum to go in their favor to make you a better worker. To what degree are you a better worker? That's why you're going to get degrees in colleges and universities. To what degree have you developed to become a better worker? This whole thing was about trade and commerce. They were fighting over the trade and commerce, handing those jobs to the poor whites that were coming over here. And remember, I showed you the videos how they were still poor coming over here, even when they were migrating. And I'm talking about whites. The real slaves were them, technically, but they tried to flip it on us and say, nah, slavery started existing in America since 1619, right? But then they tell you only 2 or 3 people came. Oh, and then all of a sudden everybody else populated? Well, how come they were documented? How come they were duly documented? The first slaves to arrive in Virginia. You got their names, but you don't got nobody else's. How do you know they were the first? No cell phone, no GPS, no computer, no internet. How do you know they were the first? Because they weren't. We were already here. Think about that. Why would they come from a totally different landmass, migrate over here, then go back to a totally different landmass, capture people from that landmass, and then come right back over here when this landmass was already populated? The only way you would go capture somebody is if you won a war. And this is where the pan goofies get stuck at because they never tell you what war took place in order for that to take place. For the transatlantic slave trade to happen the way that they're stating that it happened, a war would have to happen. In order for you to become a slave, you will be a prisoner of a war. What war took place in Africa? None. Even the Africans that are coming over here will tell you that. They like, what war? What slave trade? They don't know what you're talking about until they learn it in your schools. And they regurgitate that same information. That's the only time. Besides that, they like, wait, I mean, if anything, they over here trying to kill us with pins and needles. Like, you know what I'm saying? And look how everybody fell for the fact that they said that the Europeans came over here with a cloth. Listen to that bull crap story they gave us. They came over here with a cloth and everybody died from a disease that was being carried on that same cloth all across America. Stop that, y'all. Stop it. A cloth wiped out a whole species? Like, stop playing. Like, what? How? That cloth wouldn't have made it across the seas. Why? Because it's treacherous weather conditions if you traveled across the seas the way you claim you did by way of the Atlantic. On a sailboat, you didn't have a motor. That means that your boat ship was relying on sails to go across the stream. Like, that doesn't make sense. You on a wooden boat, you barely could steer it, and you mean to tell me you were able to keep a cloth that carried the disease fine for 90 plus days to travel from Europe to America? Get rid of everybody by this one cloth. And y'all didn't die? Oh, so y'all were immune to that same disease? Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Because if that was the case, how come everybody got COVID? Oh, never mind. Never mind. I'm not... Okay, yeah, it was airborne. No, it wasn't airborne. But why'd they make us wear a mask if it wasn't airborne? They feeding you indoctrination. Yeah, they said the cloth, blankets. They did. They did say that. But think about that. Oh, I was about to say something real mean. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm glad I caught myself right there. I was about to say something real mean. I'm going to leave it alone. Because somebody in trouble. And it ain't me. But anyway, look, matter of fact, I'm going to doll it up what I was about to say right there. You ain't worried about that cloth when you coming to go see that female. You going behind that woman that you already got, and you going to go see that other female. You ain't worried about that cloth then, are you? You don't know if she made that, switch them sheets out the night before, the day of. Huh? Sheets, blankets, cloth. What you mean? She got a man that she just met up in that bed and ain't changed them sheets. You ain't dead, are you? Oh, okay. But they killed off the so-called Native Americans somehow with a blanket. Yeah, okay. That's very hard to believe. All right, now, this next video is, let me see. While we on the topic of Africans, this one is saying, hold up, I'm trying to grab it. This one is saying, okay, this guy's explaining that they import Africans so that so-called, wait, let me see. Oh, okay, so they don't have to hire so-called Black Americans. Okay, here we go. So they import Africans from Africa today so they don't have to hire so-called Black Americans.
African Americans in a very interesting way, which is actually
I've been told
both
you that,
universities and the corporate employers are literally, this is true, they literally import Africans so that they don't have to hire African Americans because they still count as Black. There was a great story. The thing that woke me up to this, there's a story
because they still count as Black. I told y'all, this is, okay, two things. This is the reason why we're not getting reparations, because you're saying that Black Americans are owed reparations, and they're not. There was no such thing as Black for a people at the time of slavery. There was no such thing as Black for the people, referring to the people during the time of slavery. That's number one. Number two, when you say Black, the foreigners will insert themselves into the conversation. They feel as though they should be a part of the equation. Why? Because Black was never defined as a status for us only. That was never determined. I keep telling people this. That was purposely done to confuse you. Don't forget, it went from Negro to Black. So before that, they had to create a new Negro. Remember, I told you that they created the new Negro first. It went from the old Negro to the new Negro during the Harlem Renaissance. The Harlem Renaissance movement was literally called the New Negro Movement. It wasn't even called the Harlem Renaissance until later. It was the New Negro Movement. It was about what they were doing. They were bringing in foreigners from other countries, blending them in to create the new Negro by way of arts and entertainment. And it didn't just happen in Harlem, but it was escalating in Harlem because our people were prospering in Harlem. And remember when I showed you in the documentary, all those new foreigners that were coming in, they needed some property. They needed some places to live. Okay? And they basically took over Manhattan and said, hey, y'all can keep Harlem. We'll give you a speck of Harlem. That documentary is up on my channel already, full-fledged. I'm talking about where I'm narrating. It's not a game. In fact, I went over it again because do I have a part 2 or something like that? I think it's a part 2. But I went over it during the live stream as well. They did that on purpose. And they doing it again with the term black. And they doing it again with the term black. Keep in mind, where was the Africans during Jim Crow? Look, where was the Africans during the Black Power movement? Where were the Africans during the Civil Rights movement? Huh? I dare you. Where were they? They came later. They came later. I told you that. They weren't here. Even the Africans told you they came later.
Harvard.
It's not a game.
Harvard admits, black students, but which ones? Back when the New York Times could talk about these things honestly. And it quoted actually Henry Louis Gates and Lonnie Guinier at the time at Harvard Law School, basically observing that African Americans were not benefiting from affirmative action because Harvard had figured out that they could import Nigerians.
CG. Yes, hold on. But I'm a little upset that he cut that off. Not only Nigerians, but it was people from Congo and it was people from Ghana. It was Nigerians, Congo, and the Ghananese. I don't know what they're called, but the people from Ghana that they were importing and mixing them in with other foreigners, giving them jobs, letting them know that they could expedite their green card or their citizenship, rather, if they joined the military. That's why you saw a lot of them join the military, because they'll expedite it. Within 5 years, they'll become a citizen. Within 5 years. So as soon as they basically finish basic training, they're a citizen. Now I'm just simplifying things, but I'm just saying this is still to this day. So they were easily able to replace you. They were easily able to walk over the issues that you have because they're not considered black by way of the census. They only want to use the term black when it's beneficial to them, only. And the only time the term black will be beneficial to them is when they want to fit in with you so they can take from your culture, take from your heritage, take from your traditions, take from your practices, take from your beliefs, take from what you love, take from your hobbies, take from your ideas, take from your language, take from your men, take from your women. But it's mainly money, okay? So they can send it back to their own families. Now, can you blame them? No. Because they don't have that type of lifestyle where they're from. So, of course, they're there to take care of their families. This is not a game. But you just got to recognize that we shouldn't be putting each other together as if we're one. Remember when y'all guys, we like, hey, we need to unify? Right. I agree with you, but you got to understand that we need to be unifying with the right people. Not everybody should be unified. Only the right people should be unified together. Yeah, you got to know that. There's going to be some people out there that ain't going to have your best interests in mind, right? And you got to call it for what it is. You can't just sit up there and say, all right, I'm going to let that slide. Matter of fact, come on with us. We need more numbers. No. It don't work like that. You can't get anything done if you allowing infiltration immediately. Just because that's your brother, that's your sister, by way of skin tone, not nothing else. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. Let that be a real thing for real. Let that be a real thing for real. Take that literally. All skin folk ain't your kinfolk. They are not like us. They literally did not go through what we went through. And we built America. And these foreigners are the ones that they're not giving us our props. So since they took from us, what you think it's time for us to do? To them. Okay? You got to break them Deuteronomy curses and stop claiming that them Deuteronomy verses are for you. That's not to instruct you or how you should be living your life. You understand what I'm saying? That's to inform you that somebody put something on you to haunt you every day of your life so you won't live it to the fullest. Nah. You disassociate yourself with those verses, curses. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Who died and made them king? We still here. So I'm still waiting on the name of the person that died. Because everybody got to die someday. But if we actually lost, we wouldn't be here still to this day. In large numbers, by the way. They couldn't wipe us. That's impossible. You can't wipe the chosen people. We were chosen to be here. To start civilizations off throughout the world, especially America. It ain't over with, y'all.
We've been
it's
knew
just
this
getting
the whole
started,
time.
though.
We've been trying to say this the whole time, and everybody and their grandma was gaslighting us, acting like we don't know what the fuck we're talking about, bro. Y'all got 24 hours to respond to this shit, and you better not be gaslighting, bro, because this is what they've been doing, bro. They've been doing this shit, all right? Since they can't be racist and shit like that, they're like, oh, well, we can at least discriminate against ethnicities and stuff. So we're in this new age movement where, like, listen, we delineate.
Wait a
They're
minute.
not the same as us.
Wait a minute, brother. What you think racism is? They are going to discriminate against who you are. See, there's a difference between prejudice and racism. Prejudice is when you bigging up your own race. Racism is when you have hate for other races. So, of course, they're going to discriminate against your ethnicity. Don't try to separate it as if it's not the same thing. No, they're one and the same. That's what racism is about. We don't need their validation. And that's another thing, y'all. Stop looking for other people's validation. You don't need other people's validation to have peace. You don't need other people's validation to have greatness, have joy, have prosperity. You don't need that. Have love. You don't need other people's validation to have love. How about that? But let's rewind that back to the beginning part where I just said, you don't need other people's validation to have peace. Peace is the aftermath of a war. You got to go through a battle to have peace. You ready? You see what this spiritual warfare is now? This is right in front of you. This is a war that's happening now. You understand what I'm saying? The only way that we could take control over this and win and have peace is if we want it, goddammit. You got to want it. Now, if you one of them type that give up, oh, no, this is too much, move out of our way. We don't need you. It's a fight. It's a fight. You got to be war ready. Especially when you're on the front line.
Can't bunch them in with us because they're still racially like us, but they're not part of the same ethnic group. So y'all not gonna try to do that trick bag. They thought they had a trick bag with us. We not doing it no more.
Nah. In other words, we not falling for it no more. I agree with that part. Our people are not falling for the gimmick. They not falling for the trick, like how he said, the okie doke. We not falling for it no more. And I'm so proud of my people, man. For that reason, I'm proud of them. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
You from Louisiana, huh? Georgia, Texas, the Carolinas? Let me wake you up. These 50 states you see today, they're recent, created by conquest, not origin. Before the U.S. flag ever touched this land, this was already divided into empires, nations, and tribal territories, thousands of them. And if you were born in one of these states, you might actually be standing on the bones of your own kingdom. Louisiana, you may descend from the Washita de Dugdamundia Empire. Also, the Tunica, Huma, Choctaw, and Yamasee. This was royal land, straight up empire.
Not the Yamasee Moors. Don't get it confused.
Stolen during the Louisiana Purchase. Georgia, you're likely Yamasee, Creek, Muskogee, Oglala. These were sovereign nations, not tribes, before the Trail of Tears and Indian removal. Florida, you're looking at Seminole, which included Black Maroons and Yamasee. Also Calusa, Appalachia, and Miccosukee. Many had African and indigenous roots. Don't let them lie to you. Mississippi, Alabama, home of the Choctaw, Chickasaw, Natchez, and the Mound Builders. That's sacred ground. You ain't just Southern, you're indigenous royalty. Texas, you might be Caddo, Tawakoni, Karankawa, or part of the Washita Imperial Stretch. Also, some Black Seminoles and Comanches escaped here, south of North Carolina.
I don't. Okay, so I disagree with a couple of things that she said. I get where she's coming from, but there's a couple of things that is incorrect. Number one, what is a Black Seminole? What are you talking about? Where are you getting that from? What Black Seminole? The Seminole. What you mean Black? You got to straighten that
Cherokee, Catawba, Yamasee, or Saponi. Many of them were reclassified as freedmen or colored, but they were nations. New York, you could be Lenape, Iroquois, or Mohawk, the original lawgivers of Turtle Island. Some early Moors merged with these nations during
here
colonial
she go. All right, so there we go. So she's going the Moors route.
Resistance.
That makes sense.
California, the so-called Black Indians of Cali were Tongva, Chumash, and Washoe. They don't teach that the West Coast had melanated tribes. So no, you're not just Black. You're not just African American. You're indigenous to the land.
All right. Now, I mean, again, I'm not going to agree with everybody. I'm not going to jump down everybody's throat. But at the same time, at least they're trying. But of course, when I hear those terms and you're claiming those terms as if this is the correct thing, and you know you're being politically correct, at least I think you do, you need to disassociate yourself with those terms. Go all for the ones that your people created for your people. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
You're royalty from the soil, but they reclassified you, called you freedmen, colored Negro, just so they could steal your inheritance. Want to know where you're from? Don't just look at Africa. Look at the land you stand on. That's your root. That's your tribe. That's your empire. Let me be clear. This video is not about gun violence. This is about protecting your legacy, your lineage, and your lawful rights. My name is Erica. I'm an indigenous woman to this land. I represent the Nativa Party, a movement dedicated to truth, sovereignty, and rebuilding what was stolen from our people.
And for the Cherokee people who are trying to include us as Indians now, we good. We good. That's the thing about all of them. They only want to try to include us. They only want to try to jump on the bandwagon when they know that they ass is in trouble. Now that the truth is coming out and everything else, now y'all want to try to hurry up and include us because y'all realize y'all losing everything, huh?
Man, look, not only are they losing everything, they really never had anything to lose. The reason why, the only thing that they had to lose was themselves, because the reason why all of that is technically owed to us, and they know that. Even the ones that call themselves tribal leaders, tribal chiefs, they know their time is limited.
The contract that y'all ancestors signed has now ran its course.
They didn't even sign one. No, okay, that's another thing. No treaty was signed. How about that? No treaty was signed. Not one. Not one. Not by our people. Our people did not sign treaties. Remember when I came out with that series on the X mark? X marks the spot? And I let you know that that was a signature at that time? So they could create the treaty or the agreement without the other party being there. Just add the X mark and keep getting up. That's the same way they implemented the doctrine of discovery. They said that they read it out loud to us when we didn't hear that. Because if you was to read it out loud to some people that understood what you were coming from and what you were talking about, you wouldn't be standing right there reading no more.
Now y'all want to include us, that way it save your ass. No, we not saving nobody's ass. If you're not a copper person, we're not saving your ass.
Uh-oh.
Don't give a fuck how anybody feel. Y'all can say whatever the fuck you want to say about me.
Talk.
If you ain't my people, I don't give a fuck. What happened, how happened, what's going on with you, what you're losing, how you losing it, I don't give a fuck about
because
none
they
of it.
lied. I'm going to tell you right now, why do our people feel like this? Is because they lied to us this entire time. They lied to us this entire time. And our people, are now seeing that for their own. Again, they don't need your validation. They went and validated it themselves by doing a paper trail on their own individual family. You can't tell somebody else their family. You don't know. These foreigners don't know who you are. And that's why it's best to know who you are on your own terms, not basing it off of what somebody else is saying. The he say, she say. It don't work like that. But this is the reason why the attitude is different now. This is the we sick and tired of you narcissists, and we take it back what's ours. What is what? Our peace. And I mean every bit of that peace that we own. Watch. You can't stop it. It's inevitable.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel none of it. But nah, we good, though. We good. We don't want no parts. No. Because when we finally start doing this, y'all ass out the door, too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Y'all can go find somebody else to play with.
ASAP.
Because we not it. We tried to be kosher with y'all motherfuckers for way too goddamn long. We tried to be cool, calm, collected with y'all for way too motherfucking long.
And shouldn't have did it in the beginning.
Now
shouldn't
everybody
have been cool with them.
No.
They wasn't
y'all
cool
keep
with
that
us.
Same energy y'all had in the beginning. Go over there with your best friend, the white man, because we cool. We good.
Look, and them so-called ones that's calling themselves Native Americans ain't from here. They're folks from Siberia. They are Siberians by blood. They're not indigenous to this landmass. Anytime you ask them how far back could they go with their own individual family, how come they always say 1860, 1870? And look, and that's not for all of them. And the majority of them just got their birth certificates in 2017. No, Dane, no. Don't forget they gave them the Indian Citizenship Act. Yeah, did they give it to the Native Americans? No, it says American Indian, right? Now show me the legislation where it says American Indian is Native American. I bet you can't find it. Legislation by law. Where is the law? I dare you. See? You puppies start barking up the wrong tree. Because if I'm in a tree, I'm going to start throwing apples at your ass. You going to move. You going to learn.
Thank
you ain't going to have no choice.
So, it's about time y'all know the truth. And y'all already know. I'm going to give it to you. See, if y'all actually go do y'all research.
Okay, hold on. Let me give a disclaimer because I'm not trying to judge a book by its cover. Hold on.
It's up.
Hold up. I'm not trying to judge a book by its cover. I don't know what none of these people are about to say. Not everything I'm going to agree with. I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll say the same thing for me. You know what I mean? So just a disclaimer. I'm not judging the book by its cover. Why y'all laughing? The baby hairs? I mean, that's not. Hold on, wait, hold on.
Deep into those history books, you will realize there was Afro-Indigenous people on this American land. And after a while, there was a people called Siberians. You can go look them up right now. They're Euro-Asians. They crossed over the Bering Bridge. You can go look that up. They came over and they was greeted and welcomed by an Afro race, a black race. This black race.
For example, I don't agree with the Afro part. I agree with what she's saying, but don't forget, Afro is not a people. Afro is a hairstyle. Stop calling yourself. Listen, y'all, we got to get rid of these social constructs. We got to get rid of these. Look how it worked against us. There was no such thing as Afro people. When Afro was just a hairstyle. Always has been. Always will be.
Greeted and welcomed them. And they also allowed them to live amongst them. And they lived in peace together. Some of them even started having children. That black race that was here on the American soil, they allowed these Siberian Asians to come over. They greeted, welcomed them, and let them in with open arms.
Okay, she's right. Certain tribes, not all, certain tribes allowed the infiltration. Yes, she's right on that note. Certain tribes did do that.
They was living at peace. But then, down the line, that's when the Spaniards came over. Christopher Columbus, all them, he was Spaniard. All right, now stay with me, because you know how they teach y'all in school that Christopher Columbus, the one that was here first? Mind you, at this very moment, I'm telling y'all, it's just the Afro-Indigenous people that was there first. And then they greeted the Siberian Asians over there. So now the Spaniards finna come. Christopher Columbus. These Siberian Asian people that the Afro-Indigenous people allowed to come over there and welcome them with peace and open arms. Tell me why they decided to gang up with the Spaniards and to enslave the Afro-Indigenous people that allowed them to be on this land. So basically, the Siberian and the Spaniards betrayed the people who welcomed them even on this land. Those Siberian Asians and them Spaniards betrayed those black people that was here already on this land. And they began to enslave them. So these Siberian Asians and these Spaniards started having kids and basically conjoined together. They became one. So now these Siberian Asians and Spaniards is having kids together. The Spaniards started enslaving these Afro-Indigenous people that was here, and the Siberian Asians helped them. And some of those Siberian Asians even became bounty hunters for the Spaniards whenever their slave ended up getting loose or trying to run away.
All right, I'm going to give the sister her props. Okay, let me tell you why. And this is the reason why I did not cut her off. I wanted to see exactly where she was going. So now I can see where she is in her research. She's okay. Okay, even though I'm disagreeing with the verbiage that she's using, she's right and exact. As far as what she's saying, that's very good. And she's a young sister, I'm guessing. And that I'm very proud to see that. It look like she a little hood, you know what I'm saying? She look like she'll go up somebody's head, but at least she talking. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. There's probably some brothers out there that think she pretty that's gonna listen to her. Like, wait, she got some knowledge? You know what I'm saying? They gonna listen to her. She gonna wheel them in with the baby hair and then.
So some of these Siberian Asians became bounty hunters for the Spaniards for when their slave escaped. And that's where you get the scalping of the head from.
Okay.
Now, I know y'all heard of the scalping of the head, bro. I know y'all heard of it. See, the Spaniards was telling the Siberian Asians to go hunt them once they escaped. If you can bring them back alive, then do that. But if you couldn't, if you killed that slave, you had to bring a Spaniard back something of that slave to show that you did what you supposed to have done. So they will cut off the scalp every time they caught one of the slaves escaping and bring their scalp back to the Spaniard to show them that they caught the slave. And that's when the Siberian Asians was betrayed by the same people they helped.
She's been reading.
So that
this
same
is
knife
good.
That the Siberian Asians used to stab those Afro-Indigenous people of this land in the back with, those Spaniards took it right out of their back and stabbed those Siberian Asians in the back. And that's where you get the Trail of Tears.
Oh, she jumped big time.
That's when you get the Trail of Tears. Let's put the truth out there for real.
Okay.
Let's put the truth out there for real. And that's where you get the Trail of Tears. Basically telling those Indians that they couldn't stay on the land as well. And even with that, they was still giving a deal. Basically, we'll give y'all your own reservations. Y'all still get some land out of it. Because at the end of the day, y'all helped us take over this land. So we're going to give y'all a deal also. We'll give y'all reservations, reparations. We'll make sure y'all straight. But this our land. That's how the Europeans did them Indians after they stabbed those Afro-Indigenous people.
She's referring to the Native Americans. Hey, what's her? If y'all know her, make sure we get in contact with her. She need to she's doing good though. I'm not gonna lie, she's still doing good. It's just I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I told y'all not to judge a book by its cover. I was surprised, my goddamn self. I didn't know she was going. I mean, she look at them tattoos. She look like she about to go up somebody's head. But if she talking like this, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would have never thought that I was not expecting this at all. And so I gotta take, some accountability for even judging the book. Cause I saw the hair. I was like, oh Lord. That's why I immediately started giving my disclaimer. Whole time, she front line. Like she got a different type of spirit with her. And that's very good, by the way. That's very good. We need more sisters like this. Oh man, we do. Besides the hair, I know certain fellas gonna be like her hair. Nah, yeah. I ain't gonna lie. The tattoos jumped out at me. I was like, damn, okay, she definitely from the hood whole time. She's I like that. I swear to God, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that coming out of her. That's very good, by the way. That gave me hope for our women, like a motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie. She just gave me hope for our women right there. Not gonna lie. And I'm just like giving her props. I know I'm glazing her right now, but she deserve it. I'm not gonna lie, because I swear to God, I was thinking she was about to go somewhere else. And that's why I ain't even want to cut her off. I was surprised that she's saying that. I don't know her TikTok name. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all got to tell me. I will shout her out right now. Oh, yeah, she cooking. No. She was, hey, that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, and she's young. I don't know how old she is. That's impressive, to be honest with you. That's impressive.
In the bag. And when I say Indians, Native Indians, because that was part of the deal. That's what y'all gonna be called.
Yeah, this is live. I'm live.
We still gonna give y'all reparations, y'all reservations, and we gonna give y'all the name of Native Indians. We gonna make sure y'all straight, but we want y'all to know that this our land now. So now those European Spaniards took over the whole thing now. And that's why Christopher Columbus saying he discovered America. You see where I'm going? Now the Afro-Indigenous people got stabbed in the back. Them Siberian Asians were stabbed in the back, given the name Native Indians. And now the Europeans taking over. And now their history is that.
Hey, I swear to God, fellas, ladies, I want y'all to reach out to her. We got to make sure that she, like, make sure that we got our ancestors' protection over her. Because she like a goddamn rare breed. I'm going to tell you that right now. Whole time. She could get the youth talking like this. I don't know. Again, I don't know how old she is, but I swear to God, she could get the youth.
Hey, they found this land, and there was a great deal given. They got their own reservations. They got reparations they getting. All this different money. Shoot, they the ones that mainly own all the casinos.
Man.
The Native Indians, Siberian Asians, mixed with some European Spaniard, probably some other Afro-Indigenous people. And not only that, even when they gave them that deal, they even gave them the deal for them to take even some of the slaves and take them on their land. So they even allowed them to have their own slaves. So some of the black people, some of the Afro-Indigenous people was over there on their reservations. They had slaves, the Native Indians. So this Trail of Tears, it probably was them crying.
Is that a St. Louis accent? That sound like a St. Louis accent. She Midwest. Yeah, hey, are y'all checking? I don't see y'all saying her TikTok. I don't know. This got to be TikTok. Is that her TikTok? Hold on. Is that her TikTok? Your favorite indigenous cousin? Is that her TikTok? You said Kentucky? It sound Midwest to me. It sound like a Midwest accent. Memphis? Nah. I don't hear Memphis. It sound Midwest. It sounds St. Louis. She sounds St. Louis. She sound like St. Louis to me. I could be wrong, but I swear she sounds St. Louis. I don't know. It could be it could be. Okay, I believe y'all saying this is her Instagram. I mean her TikTok. The Real Outcast Nay. The Real Outcast Nay. I hope that's the right one.
They was betrayed by the people that they was helping. to betray the Afro-Indigenous people here. So yeah, they was crying because they were betrayed. They thought that this was gonna be their land together. And you wanna know what the craziest part is? That even when the Civil War and all that started happening and the slaves was told that they could be free now, do y'all know that these Native Indians was the last people to let go of their slaves, the Siberian Asians, that's the Native Indians. They was the last people to let go of their slaves. They was the main ones that didn't want to give it up when they was told to give their slaves up. Like, a lot of the soldiers had to go over there and make them give up their slaves. Our people are really native of this land.
Hey, what's happening, tribe? Hey, this finna be the post right here. So, I don't know if y'all heard about Native American tribes trying to go to the government to add
she's
black
not.
Indians.
She's not fully correct, but I mean, she needs to. Okay, she's been reading though. I gotta give her props. You can tell she's been reading. She's trying, and that's the key. She is trying. It was a lot of things that she said correct though. It was a lot of things that she did, but went closer towards the end is where, it was kind of. But at the same time, I would love to, I would love to talk to her and get her all the way right. So cause she I swear to God, she could take, she gonna go ham. She shouldn't stop. She could go ham.
Now. One thing about it, man. Once the truth start coming out, then everybody got to start telling the truth. It's a karmic thing. You got to tell the truth once the truth come out. They like, oh, they woke. We need them on our side.
No. Hold on, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking nothing from that sister. I'm not saying, listen, it is some things that she said was wrong, but that could be corrected because she's still in the right direction. Okay? Like I said, she did say things that's right. I'm very impressed by her because I wasn't even expecting that out of her at all. I was like, oh shit, what? And that's why I just let her fly. Like, let me hear what she's saying so I can see where she at. I know exactly how to help her.
Now they know the truth. It's up. But hold on real quick. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. All right, here we go right here. Cherokee tribes and the inclusion of black Indians, freedmen. That's my mom's maiden name, Freeman. The Cherokee Nation has acknowledged and affirmed the right of the descendants of black people once enslaved by the tribe, known as the Cherokee Freemen. So you telling me Native Americans enslaved black people, but y'all be all on our posts making racist remarks telling us that we ain't Indian and telling us that we from Africa, but your Cherokee Nation has acknowledged and affirmed the right of the descendants of black once enslaved by your tribe. So you telling me y'all enslaved indigenous people? So you telling me these Native Americans that look like Siberians, look like white folks, look like Mexicans, look like Hispanics. So you telling me them same people enslaved black tribe, black people. You see what I'm saying? So y'all enslaved indigenous black people and got the nerve to come on our pages being disrespectful.
Huh? You saying that she got 2.1 million subs on TikTok? See, I don't be on TikTok. I'll follow her for sure, though.
I'm finna put all this business out here. Everybody need to know this. Y'all make sure y'all share, comment, goddamn like this shit. Show your mama, show your grandma. The Cherokee Nation has acknowledged and affirmed the right of the descendants of black people once enslaved by the tribe. They're not talking about Africans. They wouldn't say Africans. They said black people. And they don't want to say black Indians because that's who we are. Inclusion of black Indians. So they didn't want to say down here that they enslaved black Indians. These Siberian, Mongolian, they worked as slave catchers. They enslaved black indigenous people with those same white people. Y'all need to know what's going on. So stop saying that these Cherokee white Mongolian people are the true Indians. No, the black Indians are. Now let's go to this. Now this why I fuck with my uncle Deontay Trump. Cause he know the truth. He know what's going on. And I've been trying to tell y'all that for the longest, all my black people, but y'all so caught up in this racist stuff of what white people did to us that you think all white people are against us. Did y'all know that it was some white people helped us during slavery? But that's another story. This what my boy Trump doing.
Wait, why y'all saying that she a plan? What happened? What? Huh? You talking about the young lady we just played? Because she got a following on TikTok? Well, hold on. Why? I don't understand why y'all saying that. Like, why? No, not her. Oh, okay. She don't talk about that topic a lot. She definitely not a plant. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm wondering why people said that. I don't even know her. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I would say was, like, I could point her in the right direction as far as research is concerned. And because apparently she do her own reading, which is excellent. So she a nosy, she gonna be nosy. It's pointing in the right direction with everything else. She basically there. They hating Dane, don't worry. Okay, I'm about to say, because, I don't, you said maybe she just getting started. I mean, probably, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, she did good. But it is certain things that gotta be, it's just certain things that she said was a little incorrect. And the only way that she'll know that is if she see it, you know what I'm saying? So I would want to, show it to her. Yeah, don't hate on her, y'all. I don't even, keep in mind, I don't even know her. I don't even know her. See, a spiritual speaker? Okay. She need more fine tuning. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not taking anything from her when I say that. But I don't want y'all to think that she a plant or something like that because I said that. I wouldn't consider her, I don't know her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know her to be saying something like that.
Native communities could lose $24.5 billion under Trump administration proposal. If upheld by the courts, the proposed freeze on federal grants would affect nearly every tribe. Nah, this ain't old news. What it is, July the 24th or something like that? They published this July the 15th. This new news. Yeah. So all y'all hating Native American tribes that don't know nothing, because that's all y'all do in court. You say, I don't know nothing. Y'all don't know nothing truly. Because black indigenous people been trying to tell y'all who we are, and all y'all did was come through with racist remarks. But guess what? Thank you, Uncle Trump. Hit they ass. $24.5 billion. And guess what? It's going to affect nearly every tribe. So no. We cool. We don't need y'all to include us. We already included. Everybody know who he is. Keep that same energy. We good.
The Muskogee Nation Supreme Court has ruled that the descendants of people once enslaved by the tribe are indeed entitled to tribal citizenship. Rhonda Grayson and Jeffrey Kennedy have been trying to obtain citizenship in the Muskogee Nation since 2019, but they were denied because they could not identify a lineal descendant. To offer some context, the Muskogee Nation is a part of the 5 civilized tribes. That was the name given to the Native American tribes who, amongst other things, participated in chattel slavery. The 5 civilized tribes fought on the side of the Confederacy during the Civil War. Once the South lost the war, the Muskogee Nation entered into...
Okay. Now, immediately, I got to disagree with that part. I already put my research out on this, on the Civil War, though.
With the United States in 1866. In that treaty, the Muskogee Nation agreed that their former slaves, now known as Creek freedmen, would be granted tribal membership into the Muskogee Nation. More than 100 years later, in 1979, the Muskogee Nation reversed course and stated that it would no longer grant Creek freedmen membership into the tribe unless, one, they were Muskogee by blood, or they were listed in the Dawes Rolls. There have been several issues with the Muskogee Nation taking that position, the biggest of which the Dawes Rolls were established after the Treaty of 1866. Another issue is that the Dawes Rolls have long been exposed as having some serious flaws. So after years of litigation, the Muskogee Nation Supreme Court agreed that it should honor the Treaty of 1866. Rhonda Grayson and Jeffrey Kennedy said that they hope that this begins a path of healing and reconciliation. And it is also predicted that this will now open up the door.
I'm going to be honest with y'all. We shouldn't be fighting for freedmen citizenship inside of these tribes. Me personally, I feel as though we shouldn't be fighting for citizenship in these tribes because they're not even tribes. They're nations. Okay? But they're a nation up under a nation. They're one nation under a groove. They getting down just for the funk of it. They're up under the federal government. Okay? So they have to follow by what the federal government says. Okay? And we already know that the federal government is quasi meaning as if. They're acting as if they are a government. They're nothing but a disguised business. They're a corporation. So that's what a nation is. It's a corporation. It's the same thing. A nation has nothing to do with a tribe. A tribe is a family. And they can't have an empire up under an empire. That just shows you how much power they really have. They have a department that oversees their affairs. What is that called? The Bureau of Indian Affairs. You have an overseer. You're not in control. So it's not about going back to another side. Basically, this is what this is. It's going to be another side of colonization. It's not about joining, this is going to be better in your condition or bettering your condition of your people. Now, it depends because I'm not speaking for the Creek Nation, but there are other ones out there who are federally recognized as a subdivision of other departments that they create up under that one umbrella that they will allow to have certain benefits for individuals, okay, that are accepted into these nations as members, not members of the family, it's members of the government, like a citizen is. You carry an ID card because you're a member of this club. Look, that's what it's about. This is the game that they're playing. Oh, you qualified when you had this ID. Here, fill out this application. It's the same process, right? So don't try to make it seem like they're higher than us when they're not. They're still carrying around IDs. A card shouldn't have to identify you. The reason why I'm saying that is because that conflicts with what the other law is that's universal that was already in place previously, which is you have the right to self-determination. So that means that the identification cards should be obsolete in your mindset because they're irrelevant when you are able to self-identify. This is how you know that these nations are a business, because only a club or business will have members. In that sense, it's not all peaches and cream. That doesn't solve your problems when you're going back. Okay, as an underclassman at that, you calling yourself Creek Freedman. You making yourself an underclassman. Like you. It should be a different fight. It shouldn't be a fight for us to join them. It should be a fight for us to join each other and move them out the way. But that means that we can bypass them and get to who's controlling them. That's who's, you see what I'm saying? That's who needs to go. They're in the way.
For thousands of Black Americans to be able to apply for tribal citizenship.
So it looks like some changes are being made, okay? Number one, I'm not indigenous, okay? I'm not of the indigenous tribes. I do not belong to any indigenous tribe, never has, not my family, okay? And, but I do understand and know that historically, the indigenous did not go by blood quantum, meaning that you did not have to be by blood to be a part of their nations, such as Cherokee or Creek. You didn't have to, all the tribes, they didn't go by blood quantum back then. They adopted people into their tribes, and sometimes this was after enslavement. So some, which called the freedmen, okay, they were given land. They were given all the rights of the indigenous tribes.
No, that's not true. They were not given the same citizenship as the people that were already of the tribes. That's not true. It was limited.
That they were around, okay? I'm just saying that in short, okay? Just really in short. Just skipping over everything, okay? But right now, as you can see, they're striking out the blood quantum. Yeah, so they're striking out the blood quantum and restoring Black back into the tribe. They're giving their citizenship back, all the freedmen, because the blood quantum law was illegal from its inception, okay? Because they know for a fact, because see, the Europeans brought in that blood quantum thing. The Europeans did. And the indigenous just did it. They went along with it, basically borrowing their quote unquote their brethren.
They're not borrowing that. They have an overseer. They have to do what the government tells them to do, no matter if they have their own government or not. It doesn't matter. They established that government up under the main federal government. They have no choice but to listen.
The tribe, just because they were of African descent, right? But you can't do that. That would have been something that their forefathers did not do. They did not do. Once you were whatever you were, that's what you were. Once you were Seminole, you were Seminole. Once you were Cherokee, you were Cherokee. Okay?
That's not true neither. That's not true neither. It was a lot of people that got mixed in with other tribes for different reasons. For example, one of the reasons because it could be that, their big chief was eliminated. Or, some of the chiefs of the tribe were out, for a war. They were busy, and that tribe was captured somehow and they became prisoners of war and got adopted into a tribe. And not everybody was of the same tribe. They all went through different things.
Running through your veins. Okay? All of a sudden. And see, this is what needs to happen. They need to stop all that bull crap and give them back their citizenship into the tribes. Now, when I tell y'all back in the day, they took land and everything from Black indigenous, they took everything from the Black indigenous. When I say you everything, land and all, okay? Because they had land and everything.
Okay,
And
what she mean by everything is the land, the farms, what we would call the plantations, that was ours. We were in control of, I'm talking about so many acres until we became registered voters and messed it up. I'm not going to get into that topic. I know I went over that multiple times. I'm not going to jump the gun and go to a different topic, but we made a mistake by inserting ourselves into this government when this government didn't even want us, didn't even have a category for us. We made a mistake. We lost everything. We lost our farms. We lost our jobs. We lost the businesses. We lost a hold of our own currencies. We lost a hold of our own Bill of Rights. We lost a hold of our plantations. So our crops, and then they implemented taxes right behind that and made everything worse. All because some of our people wanted to fit in with the foreigners when the foreigners wanted to fit in with us. We made a mistake right there.
It got so bad until the Black indigenous had people at gunpoint because that's how bad it got. Okay. So, and they had a right to, because they've been living on that land and that was their land. That was literally their land now. They can get citizenship back. Now they get citizenship.
See, that's all the more reason why we don't want the land. Look, see, keep in mind, during the 1960s, our people were fighting for first-class citizenship. Let me explain this. I'm going to state this again. The reason why is because I want you to understand that citizenship is not the key. It's not. Citizenship is what's holding us back. We don't need to be citizens up under these foreign entities. That is the problem. We need to have our own. And I'm going to get into that tonight. We need to have our own. The reason why is because we had our own in the past. We were already able to pull this stuff up. They copied the script from us, not other foreigners. They saw what we were doing and copied it. Actually, all the foreigners did. If you want to say that we were civilized then, yeah, we were. Way better than everybody. I'm talking about, you can tell that was even happening because look what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma. As an example, even though there's numerous examples that we could point to, but look at Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa, Oklahoma was prospering. And there was nothing but oil over there. And they was after that oil because our people were rich and wealthy and had oil, nigga. And they didn't come over there and start fighting us. They came over there and dropped bombs on us. And the motherfuckers wasn't being held accountable for that. Still to this day. And you mean to tell me you want to be a citizen up under that motherfucking government? A government that don't give a fuck about you and killed your ancestors for the land over greed and didn't hold themselves accountable. Meanwhile, you begging them for reparations as if they going to say, oh, it was our bad. Oh, we going to take accountability. Here's some hush money. You think they going to do? That's your enemy right there. You think your enemy going to say, oh, no, no, you're right. No. Why are you always looking for your enemy to do for you when you need to be doing for yourself? Citizenship is not the key. Our people were fighting for first-class citizenship in the 1960s. What did we get? Now, some of y'all gonna say, nah, Dane, we was fighting for more than that. Yes, but don't forget that one of the things that we were fighting for during the 1960s, during the Civil Rights Movement, was first-class citizenship. That was the most important move that they were trying to make at that time that they thought would be beneficial for them because they thought they would gain equal rights, as if equal rights had something to do with civil rights, and it does not. You are born with your equal rights because you're born with your human rights. It is your human right, not your civil right. They wrote those civil rights out the way they wanted it to go for foreigners, not for you. How do we know this? Look at affirmative action. Something else that was wrote for us, right? No, it only benefited foreigners and especially white women. Am I lying? Look at civil rights the same way. Now, during the 1960s, our people were fighting for first-class citizenship. And I ask people this question all the time. What classification of race? Okay. It's first class, second class, third class. Yeah, DEI also. That's affirmative action, by the way. Affirmative action was first, then DEI, but you're right. It is the same thing. Which one are you? That was okay. You got this. Allegedly, you got your civil rights during the civil rights movement, at least at the end. At least we think, right? So, what class are you? Are you first, second, or third? Notice how you don't know. You were fighting for first. But if you still fighting for equal rights at this moment, and they trying to tell you that equal rights is your civil rights, listen. If civil rights was passed allegedly in your favor, then what class are you in? If it still ain't working for you, what class are you in? It ain't hard. This is why you need to step away from citizenship. Right there. You have to. They holding our people back with that. That is the number one thing that's holding us
back. They had
back.
to fight for back. I'm not sure because I think the land, when it comes to the indigenous and all that, that's tied up in a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, with all the indigenous, that's a whole big mess right there. But yeah, I'm glad for them. Yeah, they got their tribal citizenship back.
That's so funny. The modern day Cherokee Nation.
Wait, why does it sound like
America,
that?
But not recognizing indigenous.
Wait, I don't know why it sounded like that.
Indians.
It's almost spooky in a way because she got them hazel eyes.
As if we needed their recognition. They were right there with them and they were giving them reparations every single fucking month. They treated us poorly. It's like,
what? I don't.
It is time for retribution. The way for kids. That's all.
Before there was Black Europeans, there was the Empire of Haiti, which spanned it across the Americas. It was massive. Now, because of the similarities between Creole and French, a lot of people like to think that all of this was French. They give everything to the French, everything to the Europeans. The Empire of Haiti is older than France, older than the French. France is new. You know people older than fucking France. The names of the tribe, Choctaw, Gullah Geechee, Cherokee, these are Creole words. These are Creole names. You can find out what these words mean exactly when you research their Creole meaning. Creole predates French. France, I think it's from the 40s, maybe the 50s. You're saying that Europe is the motherland. Even in Pan-Africanism, they could never In fact, a lot of what people think is French, even my name from the last video, that's most likely Haitian. But I'll say French because that's what the people like to think the history is. But the real conspiracy here is the Empire of Haiti, how big it spanned, how many different countries and nations were under this, and the language and how much older it is than the places that we think are the old world today.
Wait, is he saying
and
that
before
Creole?
there was blood?
Wait, huh? Okay. Again, disclaimer. I don't agree with everybody's video that I'm playing. I'm just saying. Cause okay.
Like Indians. Once again, we predate all of that. And Indian comes from way back when the maps were so different. There was 3 Indias, and America was India Superior.
Oh,
here
we go.
We were Indians because what was it? Who didn't exist? The Indians that we know as Indians today. I mean, they existed, but they were known as Hindus because they were in the nation of Hindustan. And before that, it was like Bharats or something. They're the most recent people to ever be called an Indian. Any history that was about the Indians that in antiquity called people Indians, that's about us. That's us. Now, if you're a black European and that's your ancestry, I'm not saying feel bad about it, but you're not the original people. I mean, you may be descended from them, but like, that's crazy. Y'all think Europe is the motherland, or is this just like rage bait?
Go get y'all ancestors and stop.
Okay.
Well, I mean, be descended.
So this guy here, these people are learning. I just want them to continue to learn, and they getting it out online. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to discourage. You know what I mean? I don't want to put that message out there, but I mean, I am going to correct them in certain cases, at certain points. You know, I don't know why he's saying certain things, but he might have got certain things crossed up. Then he went a different route with the India Superior, and we know where that's from, and it's okay, you know, at least he learning, you know, because he came back with some other stuff. And I mean, let him learn, man. Let him learn. And they venting online. You know, I'm glad that this is happening, though. This is still a shift in the right direction. I'll say that overall.
But like, that's crazy. Y'all think Europe is the motherland, or is this just like rage bait?
Go get y'all ancestors and stop checking for black people. Cause look, American Indian, don't he look like y'all ancestors? He look just like you. All these people in here, Indians, they look like you. Native Americans. I mean, look at White Wolf up there. Long hair. Black hair. Oh, he's indigenous.
Oh, he trolling. He trolling. And then they got the little laughing sound effect of the he trolling. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me let him finish. Hold on, because let me hear.
Oh, man, look at all these damn Native Americans.
He's trolling, though. Because y'all see the panel, right? No. Hold on. Yeah, okay, I'm glad he did that. And you know he ain't real, right?
Eyes Cody. He was an Italian man.
Exactly.
Played Indian in a lot of movies. And he said he was 100% Indian to the day he died. And he was fucking Italian.
There was a lot of foreigners that played that. Okay. All right. I mean, okay, so, you know, again, at least people are trying. It is a shift in the right direction. You know, I'm glad that people are taking it seriously, you know, and I encourage people to continue to do their research. And even if they're venting online and some of it does need to be corrected, that's fine. At least you trending in the right direction when it comes to your research, and just know that there's more to it, you know, and it's best that you know your own individual family too. You gotta do your genealogy. Gotta do your genealogy. You gotta know what's going on. Because if you do your genealogy, you'll step away from certain things that you're saying automatically because you know it didn't happen. It ain't hard. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, of course you was, you know, you could consider that the beginning. You was wrong in the beginning, but you continue to learn. You continue to dig. You continue to read. You continue to research, and you definitely learned about your family. That's what's most important. All right, let me move on to the, let me see what we got here. Hold on, before I play this one, let me play, where that guy at? Because he said, hold on, the one about the DNA test. They said that to me, the dark brown skin guy. Yep. Let me get that one real quick, because I want to play that before I play the other brother. Yeah, here we go. So there you go. Let me see what he's saying.
We've been here for over 500 years on paper. And they keep doing this DNA. What they doing with black people now, with black Americans, they taking take the DNA test. We can find out where you're from. They take the saliva from your mouth. And they tell you, you're from these tribes. Bro, they'll name 10 tribes. Well, you got a little Fulani in you. You're 30% Congolese. You're 10% Nigerian. You're 5% Zulu. One thing that Africans don't do, most Africans date within their tribes. If you're Igbo, you date Igbo. If you're Yoruba, you're going to date a Yoruba because their cultures are different. And then some of the languages are different. But they'll tell a black American, you got 7 or 8 different tribes of Africa in you. Ooh. How? Africans don't mate like that.
Shout out to this brother. I don't know this brother's name, but shout out to this brother. Oh, shit. That was funny. That was absolutely hilarious. Hold that.
It's up.
Hold that. All right, let me move on. Let me, I wanted to play this other guy real quick. Hold on, let me get that up real quick. All right.
I want y'all to see this because I wrote all this down.
All right, so let me explain. So this young brother here created a plan. Now, this is my first time hearing his plan. But, multiple times I said we need to be taking our funds and create our own cities. I even told y'all about the unincorporated lands. Like, we could even grab those too. We could grab stuff. We could do it here. We got the resources. Cities and towns. And a young brother. And again, I'm really interested to see how the young brothers how they going. Let me hear what they talking about.
Video on it, but not a lot of people paid attention. So I'm going to see if I can try to get people to pay attention now. Not even sure if this land is still available, but what this is about is it's about us breaking free from the system. I did the research. So pretty much at the time when I did this research, it was 9,967 acres available at Cripple Mill Ranch in Texas for $9 million. If us as the people came together, the down payment on it would be $1.8 million through $2.7 million. Depends on percent. Monthly payment would be about 30 to 60K. Depends on interest rate. Now, we can use 40% of this land for housing. And that'll be about 3,987 acres, 20% for business and infrastructure, and that's 1,993 acres. 20%.
Wait, did he say 10% for infrastructure?
Acres, 20% for business and infrastructure. Now,
hold on.
Through 2.7 million, depends on percent. Monthly payment will be about 30 to 60K, depends on interest rate. Now, we can use 40% of this land for housing, and that'll be about 3,987 acres. 20% for business and infrastructure.
20% for business.
That's 1,993 acres. 20% for parks, open space, and nature. We want to keep some nature around. That's 1,993 acres, and 20% for road, utility, schools, and etc. Other things, grocery stores, whatever. That's another 1,993 acres. What I hope to accomplish by building this city is 1, economic independence. Own the land, the businesses, and the infrastructure. No landlords, no outside control.
Yes, sir.
Right. 2, control over education.
Right.
We can teach things like Black history, culture, financial literacy, self-empowerment. Right. 3, safe, intentional community buildings. Right. Design neighborhoods for families, youth programs, healing centers, art districts, and the elders. 4, business ownerships and industry. Make it a hub for Black-owned tech, agriculture, renewable energy, and media, and set up trade schools, coding academies, and entrepreneur incubators. And 5, cultural power and legacy. A Black-founded city becomes a living monument to resilience. Cultural events, museums, art centers, music festivals, owned and ran by the people. I always told y'all, if you've been watching me for a minute, that I feel like what am I trying to say? I know I'm gonna find a word.
What, your niche?
I just feel like I'm from the common people. I'm not for, you know what I'm saying, like the other side. I say that. I'm not for the other side. I'm for the common people who really want change.
Right.
I made this plan a while ago, hoping it reached those people, but I don't know. This video getting too long. There's a part 2. Let me know if y'all want it. I love y'all.
Okay. So that's good. I'm glad to see that young brothers are thinking like this, because not only I will hope that not only are they just thinking about this, but they will actually put this plan in motion. And it's going to take. See, this is the reason why I'm liking how we going right now. Like, I'm very thankful that this is happening right now, because there are some. We got elders out there that's willing to, hey, go ahead, baby. He goes some, yeah, you about to go get that land. He goes, and they willing to, you know what I mean? Especially for the right reasons, not no scamming. We ain't Umar Johnson over here. We ain't gonna make up a promise 15 years ago and 15 years later shit don't happen, but you come up with $2 million in your pocket somehow. We ain't doing that. You know, this is actually something that's beneficial for communities across this land. You know, I know a lot of people turn their nose up there, but dang, we shouldn't have to be buying this land. And I agree with you. But look, we got to start somewhere. We got to have something. We got to have a foundation. The reason why I'm saying that is because how are they going to take us seriously, but we ain't got nothing to show for it? You understand what I'm saying? What I mean by that is us versus whoever. Whether if you want to, insert, exhibit A or B, C and D right there. And you know what I mean? Whoever you want to insert right there. But I really want our people to be thinking like this on one accord eventually. I know that's gonna take time, but I'm very thankful that I'm seeing our youth talking and thinking like this, planning, because that's a bright future ahead. We developing the next gen anyway. And, man, that's I'm glad that between this young brother here and the other sister that was young, because I think she was young. She had to be. She had to be in her 20s. You know what I'm saying? And that's good to see. I'm very glad that I'm seeing that. Very glad that I'm seeing that. Let me see. I wanted to do one more real quick. How long we been going? 2:30. Let me see. Hold up. Oh, my fault. Somebody. Wait a minute. I'm looking at it now. Oh, let me put up his message. He said, Wait. Hold on. Okay. It's P. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. My brother Ricky Cherry in the building. Thank you. Been a member for 62 months in a row. He said it's go time. What up, Ricky?
It's go time, Slim.
It is go time. One King, thank you for the 5 gifted. Set it on fire. Hold up. Chief Ride, thank you for the super chat, my brother. You left a message. You said, need GK when we love you, Big Chief. It's to know they were, it's time they know we're the chosen ones all day, every day. Why though? Absolutely. What up, Ride? Shout out to George in the building. Todd, thank you for the gifted. I appreciate that. Love Taj, thank you for being a member for 13 months in a row. Very good number. Shout out to the 13. The real Kato, you said that's after you've been in the sun for a while. Oh, I missed it. But I appreciate that, Kato. Thank you for the super chat. Because I can't remember what that could have been for. Because it said 2 hours ago. I apologize. That's what I'm trying to catch up now. The Irene, thank you for the super chat. You said, did you talk about the Creek Feedman winning their lawsuit against the? Yeah, we just did that. We just did that. You just missed that. But don't forget, even if you missed it, I'm going to be clipping parts up of this live stream, and I'm going to be posting it as its own video. So you'll be able to see that later on today. That's going to be posted. So even if you did miss it, we still going to post it. Ace Boone Coon. It's up. Been a member for 56 months in a row. It's up. What up, Ace? Dane, thank you for becoming a member. Shemaine, thank you for becoming a member. The Real Birdman Jr. Thank you for the super chat. And you ain't leave no message though, Birdman. You gotta leave a message. All right, hold on. I'm getting to the messages now. Shay, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. It's up. You said Big Chief said it's time to finish what we really started. How do we build up America? Same way today we are still the biggest artists. You know it. You know it. Hey, I appreciate that. I'm glad you know that bar. It's up. I'm glad you know that. Yeah. Yeah, man. Hold up. What? This person's name is Google. Been a member for 42 months in a row. You gotta change your name. Stop being lazy. Go change your name. That guy Morgan, thank you for the super chat. He said talk to him, Chief. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Divine, thank you for becoming a member. Sassetti, thank you for the super chat. Big one. Hold on, let me drop a bomb. You said, Dane, don't you know that Trump said that he want to redo the census in 2020? Oh, in 2025, that's the most thing. Hold on, that's the most thing we can. Down right now, self-identify based on documented lineage. Oh, I think you're saying. Hold on, let me try to make out what you're saying. I believe you're saying that we could probably self-identify on that 2025 census. I believe that's what you're saying as far as going ahead and documenting who we are. Our people have already been, I'm not going to lie, like our people already on that. Like the last census, especially, like they were already self-identifying. The 2020 census, we went hard on the 2020 census. But, you got to write other anyway, because they're not doing the appropriate thing. So when you put other, you put who you are. But that part right there, that's a totally different conversation for real, because if he do something, but you got the right to self-identify on there. So you can put who you want to put right there, but we still need to make our own, because we need to be setting laws, rules, and regulations for us. Like meaning, we need to be protecting our people. We don't have nothing out there right now that's protecting our people. We really don't. Keep in mind, we still fighting for human rights. And we shouldn't, because we were born with it. Innocent people shouldn't have to die. Innocent people shouldn't have to suffer. But they doing that on purpose. It got to change. The only way I'm telling you, the only way it's going to change is if we do for ourselves. And we can do it. It's not impossible. And we will do it. Watch. Blicky, thank you for becoming a member. Yeah, because I really do have, and I'm telling y'all, and every time I see these videos and I'm seeing these young, especially our youngins, stepping up to the plate like that, you know what I mean? Like that right there, that says a lot to me. That says a lot. And that's a very good thing. What the hell? Oh, Lord. I went right back to that by mistake. Wait, what the hell? I got pictures at... What? Oh, I must have did that. Okay, yeah. When I was... Okay, I see what I did. Hold up. But, and then there's other people out there. Regardless, they sparked up the... Well... You know, they sparked up the conversation. I sparked up the conversation. The conversation is being had. And this is all the more reason why some foreigners out there are upset. But they're just look at it like with them being mad at you, they're afraid. Because that's what they really are. They're afraid of what may happen. Because they don't know what's going to happen. Because they don't know about your plans. You understand what I'm saying? Like everything got to be, okay, for example, like the young brother just shared his plan just to get a conversation started, right? But a full-fledged plan got to be broken down even more than that. Okay? Even more than that. It got to be detailed. We got to have everything structured. Like we really got to set it. Like shout out to what's the brother's name? The elder that did the oh man, what's his name? Oh man. I don't want to be rude. This is crazy. It's late, and I'm trying to remember the elder, light skin, economics. Oh man, hold up. Oh, this is crazy. Oh man, but that was good too because he was doing the economic side. Oh, what is this brother's name? I'm so upset about that. Help me out, chat. Claude Anderson, Dr. Claude Anderson. Thank you, Midwest. Claude Anderson. That's what I'm talking about. Claude Anderson. No. Now, shout out to Phil. I seen Phil gave me a shout out also, and I appreciate that. If I don't know if he's listening, I seen Phil Valentine shouted me out. I appreciate that. That was love. I'm glad that y'all finally giving me props now. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was like, huh? Like, come on, y'all. Y'all know I did something. I made a big impact. And that's why I was like, come on, I'm right there with y'all. I could teach y'all crowd. If I want to give a segment, that ain't, I could do the exact same. Like, that's why I was like, hello? Like, what you mean? I'm the real deal. I'm not playing with them. I just took a step back because I'm doing other things in my life. You know what I mean? But I did put a lot out. I'm 10 years in. And, I wasn't playing. I made sacrifices for this. I was not playing. And I'm glad that this is finally paying off, man. But shout out to Phil. He showed love. But shout out to Claude Anderson also. Because the reason why I brought him up is because, what he put together as far as a plan economically is concerned was more appealing to me. Like the way it was structured. And he broke that down. Yeah, group economics. That was very good. And that needs to be implemented. I don't think we should let that go. I don't think that should go in vain. I think that should be implemented. That's just my opinion. But things like that have to get done. The whole infrastructure will have to get done. We don't even got to call it black. It's just power economics. We empowering ourselves. We're going back to enfranchising ourselves. We have to franchise ourselves again because we defranchise ourselves by becoming registered voters. Yeah, Powernomics is his book. Yes, Powernomics is his book. I gave my plan. I gave my plan already out. But I have put out my plan multiple times. Multiple times. If you're just tuning in and you haven't seen it, you will have to go back because I don't have it in front of me. But I already mapped my stuff out. Like I've been going over it in numerous live streams. I've been doing this for a minute, bro. I've been talking about, I even have a book out. Man, I be hating to self-promote right there like that, but you could get the book. Oh man, I'm telling you that we could do it. Certain people they gotta catch on to it. But it's possible. And what I mean by catch on to it is they gotta actually see that it's achievable. Okay? They gotta see that we could do it. And we could do it. If they could do it, we could do it. And that was another way that I see where it says fixing America. I was waiting for it to pop up right there where it says fixing America's broken promise. I'm telling you what's going on. Get that book, Fixing America's Broken Promise. I'm telling you. This is it. I'm telling you. And that's just the start, but we need the start. We have to start it. We didn't, we had it before, we need to restart it. Like, y'all can't be scared of, doing the Negro Wall Streets again. You can't do that. We have to do this for ourselves. And we can do it. Yeah, no, they gotta, I believe all of us know that there is a higher spirit. I believe all of us in here know, that we're guided by a higher spirit. I believe that already. I believe everybody's aware of that. Whether you can call it. Notice I'm saying it. You're gonna call it by a bunch of names. You're gonna give it a gender. Just know that there's a higher spirit. Okay. Yes, we've been at war. We've been at war. But our problem was, as far as our people are concerned, is that they were misdirected. They were misdirected. They didn't know what the war was about. It was about this land right here. This entire time. This was our home. Our people, hey, it's happening. That's why I'm glad. Thank goodness. Hold the line. Thank you for the super chat. Marv Deuce, thank you for being a member for 28 months. How you? You said OCO. I haven't seen you in a while. Seti, thank you for the super chat again. You said, GD YouTube, Dane, tell the people about the census redo Trump want to do in 2025 and tell them to self-identify based on their documented lineage. More people know today that knew in 2020, bro. Please believe. Hey, yeah. I'll do it. Okay. I guess you saying it now because Trump is I see why you saying that. I can see why. Because Trump is actually going to make it like, hey, look, I got you. I'll do that. You right, though. They would know more now versus 2020. I agree. You right. This is perfect timing for that. I will do that. You right. One King, thank you for the super chat as well. Let me drop bombs for y'all right there. King said 13% we up. And I'm all in for whatever, man. I'm all in for us. Let it be forever. I'm all in for us. But now you're right, though, because even though it's really not going to be, it is going to make a statement. Don't get me wrong. It's making a statement by you self-identifying on the census, but it's technically not really doing anything for us, okay? In like a beneficial way other than that. So I don't want people to read it between it thinking that we about to get something up out of that by self-identifying on the census. No, it's just making a statement. That's mainly what it's doing. And you're self-identifying at the same time. So, you know what I mean? That's the only thing. But we need more than just that. You understand what I'm saying? See, if we established our own stuff, we wouldn't need their census. Okay? We wouldn't need their census. Just wouldn't. We'll have our own. There's nothing wrong with that. Cousins in the time. Accident results in organs suspected black. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, already. Huh? Wait, what y'all talk about? Wait, y'all going at each other in the chat? I ain't even see that. It's a replay as of late. Nah, it's all good now. Yeah. Because a matter of fact, let me do that now. I'm glad you brought that up because, like I said, I was telling people that I am gonna clip this up because it was a couple things that we went over, and I know they didn't get a chance to see it, and it's late. And so I'll do that now, so I can get on that, so I won't be up all night trying to edit that because I am doing the editing. So what I'll do is just I'll stop it here. And I'll go ahead and start editing it and start posting. You know, it's going to be later on today when I start posting up the portions of this live stream, and it'll be his own video. You wrote American Indian in 2020. A lot of people did. A lot of people wrote American Indian in 2020. A lot of people. CO Chief by Chief Spur ABQ. Keep up the high creative blessing. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, but I mean, they can bang in the chat. Nah, the Indians could get busy. I mean, they could do what they do. They can do what they do. Yeah, so I'm gonna be popping back up again. Hopefully, it's gonna be a little early, and I hope that it's gonna be later on. That's what I'm about to do. I'm about to get off. And I'm going to try to edit that now. So that way, if I get my enough rest later on that evening, hopefully I can pop back up like a little earlier than this and go live again. Cause I got some other things I want to talk about. I'm not playing, y'all. I'm going to try my hardest to get it done. So I can pop back up and, we can do it again. Cause I like doing this anyway. I really do. I be having fun. I hope y'all be having fun with me. Cause and I'm about to get back on camera here too. I know I got to get on camera. People been, hey man, get back on camera, Dane. I'm like, all right, man, hold up. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all ain't be tripping if my hair not done, but I do. You know what I'm saying? I be like, and I got to wait in line with the hairdresser. I'm like, I holler at you when the hair's done. You know what I'm saying? I holler at you when the hair. I mean, I can shape up my hair, but, and that's it. But nah, let me get my hair done. Nah, but let me make it happen, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get the editing. Y'all have a good evening, and I will be seeing y'all hopefully later on this evening tonight. And you all take care. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here right here. Make sure everything's straight. Oh, I ain't even got my buttons up, but I appreciate y'all coming out. There you go. I got everything up now. Wado. I'm just here to make you think.
Yeah, DNA.